What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Everton Football Manager 2022 Rebuild series. Leave a like on the video if you've been enjoying it. And boy, oh boy, this was exciting. Before the youth intake came about, we did see it was exactly like this. It said it was a real golden generation, and there was no lying. There was no lying about that, was there? So we just go over to the development center and the youth candidates. We'll go through our results and see how we're doing for the season. But what a way. And goalkeeper, I'm glad. We touched on our goalkeeper situation a little bit. Now we've hopefully got... Let's click on Paul Miley. Let's see how good he is. 1.5 goal star, current ability at 16. We were talking about, was Jordan Pickford going to be a starting goalkeeper? Is he going to be the Champions League winning goalkeeper for us? We talked about like Begovic is the backup, but Pickford, I mean, he's good for the time being, but he's 28 years old. When do you think it's going to be possible for us to win a Champions League? So we keep that in mind. Oh, yeah, he's got beefy goalkeeping attributes. What I mean there, like the amount that are at least 11 or above, then he's got a few 14s and 13s. So, he's going to be a star. He's got a fickle personality. Determination is 11. I always go off a couple mentals. If determination and work rate start above 10, it's pretty good at that age. That probably pushes to the mids, like 14, 15, 16 maybe. But that's good enough for his development early days. And then Ted Humphrey, like how there's a couple different positions here at the top. There's definitely a defensive position in a goalkeeper. And then a winger, but looks like, I think, that's natural attacking midfield. So I always like to poise these questions. You take a look at him, looks relatively balanced. Why is he seen as a left winger when he's natural? Maybe this is just like error in the game. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's just comparing to my other players in the squad. I don't think so. But maybe it's just like a little thing, little bug. But I don't know. That's the way I see it. He's labelled as an attacking midfielder as well, but don't forget that is across that line as well. Attacking, it's not seen as a winger. It depends on the player, to be fair. I've seen it both ways. Players will be labelled as a winger when they're natural there. But it is a attacking midfield left, the definition. But anyway, he's solid. He's solid. I'm not going to go through the whole contract. We'll just do that so it doesn't make the video too long. I'll do that on my own. But Nicky Johnson, like top talent. Okay, let's see a bit of a comparison here. Poor stamina, straight. I don't like him, but I think a potential level of 3.5 star. Yeah, he gets a contract, but I feel he doesn't have a lot to scream and shout about. I want to see, his development first and foremost. And here, Nathan Mccauley from Northern Ireland. His physicals, outside of natural fitness, he looks pretty poor. But once more, potential levels there. Teamwork is very high. Determination, nothing crazy. But he's a sporting personality. He's got a couple higher attributes, doesn't he? So, and some pretty solid technicals for his age as well. So, he'll get a contract. Will be interesting how he develops. He's really specific type, we'll have to say. And now good talents, I'll let you know which ones we'll probably be eyeing to sign up, which one we won't, because these can be up in the air. If they're not looking great from their technicals, it's going to be, not going to be looking likely. His passing's pretty solid, but vision 5, that's never going to be strong enough. And as a central midfield type, I don't think Lewis Sims is going to make it. Paul Seymour. We'll get a bit of hope for the guys that are actually a gold star. So, Paul Seymour on the right, you can just tell his attributes are strong enough. And maybe, especially, determination. There's, 12 is a very common attribute for determination. 11 or 12 are these youth guys. So, you don't need to review these guys too much. Rob Pike, you get a reaction right away. His first touch, sublime. You get a 16 technical for a youth intake player. That's amazing. And teamwork of 16. So, vision's only 10. It's not terrible, mind you. But I think this guy could become actually very good, Rob Pike. So, good hopes in Rob. Joe Ashworth, another 1-star gold. Again, the strong. He doesn't have too many weaker attributes. And a couple of them are penalty taking and crossing, which crossing, central midfielder won't be in positions too much for it, and penalty, don't take penalties. Yeah, just don't select him for penalties, mate. Joe, he'll definitely get a contract. Then next up, Steve Redmond, another 1 gold star. So you see they're similar in their strength of attributes because they're a similar, current rating. But he's got, again, a couple high determination. Yeah, he has to get a contract with a determination of 19. And that he doesn't look terrible, that he's got some good attributes. Dribbling, that could get in the high teens. They could probably, that's probably get to legal, like what I mean by legal, like 18, 19. But anyway, he'll get a deal. Then to a Welshman, Arwell. Yeah, that's definitely, that feels like a Welsh name, right? He's got, 1 free kick taking. So he's probably, he's from Wrexham. So 1 free kick take. He looks fairly weak, man. Like, determination probably saves him. And 12 work rate. It's going to give him, he's going to work. He's got probably, you want to target his better attributes or ones that could turn into solid attributes, like his crossing, tackling. Yeah, try and get him maybe a good fullback. But I guess you cancel out finishing, free kick taking. You don't make him an attacking fullback, make him very defensive minded. Yeah, he just sneaks a contract because of his work rate type, like determination. And then the final good talent is Jack Young. He just looks like an average like youth intake player. Like I probably don't give this guy a contract, to be honest. There's not enough about him, I'd say. Like, he just looks like just so average, and you could probably get someone better than him as a young prospect at right back. And like, he's okay, and you could probably go him, but nah, he's just too weak on a few attributes. Like, you just want them a little bit stronger. That's just me. And then we go down. I never really expect, these guys, we'll go through them just so you see them. Mal Wilcock, not bad for the level they're showing him as, but I know physically will be, don't forget, Premier League level, will be never good enough. Mark Murphy. Again, these guys are close, and that probably sums up their ability and potential, where they're just not at it, and we know they're not going to make it this level. There's a Nigerian, and Ogbonna, but you get that foreign player, but he could be, in England. No, but he is English as well, migrating. I wonder if he was born in England, but was not to be the case. It's realistic, but average, not quite there, especially with very poor determination, unambitious. If he had good determination, you might sneak him. You might just give him a go, to be fair. But anyway, Tierney, very weak, 1 strength, and just too many weaker attributes. Like, a lot of these guys are going to go under the same thing. Sean Hartis, really the same. Poor determination and personality. When you have poor determination, but then your actual personality is low that's tough. When, out of your attributes, determination is poor, but when your personality trait is a low determination, that's tough. It's going to make it hard for you to get a contract, especially when you're already under decent talents. I think decent talents, that gives players a pretty good description for what they actually are, because they're not that decent at all. They're pretty poor. So, we'll go through, offer those contracts now. But all right, I thought that was a pretty established youth intake right there. That was very, very strong for us. And we were expecting something good, golden generation. And that gives me hope that sets up this series. I don't think that was, because again, I like how it is now, what they've upgraded it to. You can see your preview, it's less, there's an element of luck. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to say you're lucky. There is an element. There has to be an element of luck in youth intakes, but you get more of an idea of what you're going to get. And it is technically season on season. Like, someone with that, you're not going to get a golden generation each season, but it's going to be a top tier, opposed to getting a trash intake. You're probably going to get, a few decent guys with a minimum. You're at least going to get a minimum of a 4-star potential, and then maybe a couple 3 stars, like in your worst intake. So you know what I mean? But I'd say consistently, which consistent doesn't mean every year, but generally, regularly, consistently, you will have an intake like that when you've got a top tier like Everton. But we have held up pretty consistently where we were. Like, it wasn't like outrageous, but I mean, it is. We are overachieving here. Let's go into the schedule and take a look. But that first half of the season, that wasn't... I don't even know how to say it. It wasn't luck. We said luck about the youth players. We keep going back to luck. But it's what we've held steady. We've held steady. It wasn't like an early run in the season. We've kept up this form. FA Cup, knocked out against Leicester, 4th round, off of what our form has been. Pretty, that's disappointing, but that's good for us. We're not in any European competition, so this is so good for our Premier League run. There's what? We're going to play a game today, 19th, which is an interesting one, because, Newcastle with their money, will be interesting to see their team, but we've been doing well. I know, not perfect, but I mean, what? You're not going to win every single match with Everton, or most teams, to be fair. So, this has been very good. You can take a look at our goal scorers. We'll go over to our stats. Let's take a look at it like this. Richarlison, 20 goals. Calvert-Lewin, 20. Dele Alli, 16. And it's a healthy rotation. Generally, they do play a lot of games, been experimenting with Dele Alli. Take a look at Dele Alli. Attributes. He feels a bit older to me, Dele Alli, but only 25. Which is very good. Like, he's got a lot more years in him. I think, especially with high natural fitness, I think he'd be part of our next Champions League, but part of our Champions League campaign. But yeah, you can see what I was going to touch on. I talked about the rotation. Sometimes we'll chuck him over. Yeah, just so casually. Yeah, just chuck him over to the left wing. And that's sometimes where he has some of his best games. But we play him in multiple roles, the 2 different striking roles and on the left wing, which is really handy because sometimes you do want to have all Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin and Dele Alli out there. And when that happens, yeah, that's when goals start to fly in, to be fair. And Richarlison, he's very good. You'll notice, like, he just starts, generally. We don't use him too much of a super sub. Not really like that. We don't generally rotate our strikers a lot in terms of that, like, in terms of off-the-bench players. They're starters. You would take a look, someone like a Demarai Gray, he's a target we bring off the bench and for a bit of quickness, and you would see there with 14 times Holgate coming on right back and maybe centre back sometimes. But anyway, goals there, assist, Anwar El Ghazi, 12 goals, 11 assists, that is. Maybe we can just move that slightly, there we go. But yeah, he's creating good key passes. Like Donny van der Beek, 9 assists. That's the second highest. I don't want to say it's not too many, but he's been exceptional with his key passes. They've stood out more than his total assists, I would have to say. If you compare, he and El Ghazi, they're different positions. Generally, you're going to get more key passes from your central midfielder. Central mid, centre attacking mid, but yeah, that centre creative type opposed to the winger. But the wingers are going to get more crosses in, depending on their role. Maybe not if they're inside forward, but then we saw, sort by the key thing for me is the average rating. Anwar El Ghazi, amazing. Like I say, the mix of the goals and assists is really helpful in terms of that for him. Ben Godfrey is another one. He had some interest from Newcastle, but we were declining that. Funnily, we're going to play him today, but he's a great up-and-comer, saying that at 24 years old, turned recently at the turn of the new year, so he's an important part. I really like him, even though for a centre-back, 183 centimetres, again, talking about the height, it's not bad, but he's not like a huge centre-back, so that's where his strength really comes through, and his quickness, 17 pace, so and even 16 acceleration. He's hard to come up against as a forward. So, yeah, I love that he's on our side. And even Calvert-Lewin there's some interest shown in him from Chelsea, Man City, Tottenham. Maybe give me some feedback because maybe it'll happen next season. So far, there's been some bids, we just decline him, and I've been surprised that he hasn't want to leave. But maybe because we're doing so well, we're looking like a Champions League team ourselves to finish top 4. It looks like that's why, we've rejected offers from teams and our players haven't got mad. So that's been another benefit of playing this well. And what, you mean that's not it before we get into the next match? No, lads. No. A couple outs. Begovic, probably the only one of interest. We had this Christensen. I actually tried to offer him a new contract. There was a couple guys we tried to offer a new contract and they said their work permit is failing. He's Danish and yeah. So it's not even like an issue for signing players. Some players you already own at the club, you can't give them a new contract because there's going to be work permit issues. It's mad, but this was our tactic, and it's not even reflected yet because you can see what our balance is looking like, and there's going to be guys for different reasons here. We'll try and go through them relatively quickly, and yeah, you can see there's a couple guys, look, 15. These are youth intake players, which is interesting. Like, these are not the ones we want to look at. But we can go over and choose contract, and just so you guys can see that, we just move ourselves over here. Yeah, there's a contract, tick that off, which we shall do, and magic, they go out of the way. Can you put me back to where I was? Cheers. So there we go. Yeah, we can take a look at these guys in a nice little order here, and I went for different types here. I'll go by the younger guys first, the young prospects. We scouted, we were looking at a lot of guys running out their contracts that were younger, specifically like under 18. Not bad, like, and the guys were 4-star plus potential, garnered my interest because a 4-star plus potential is just like these guys we get in the youth intake. That's going to be a good Premier League player. So I'm Vikandi here. Like, he looks quite good, and I'm pretty happy to get him on a free transfer there. Yeah, there's only so much you can say about these guys, to be fair. Then Brayton, he's a French talent. A bit to get excited about. His potential was a little bit lower, and the report looked a little bit more reserved about him. But I think he's got some okay attributes. And I think if you're signing this man on a free, like, no compensation, there's not a lot of loss that's happening here. On this guy, multiple teams were interested in. That is a miracle. It's not, no, it doesn't show teams. But multiple teams were interested in him. You just have to basically believe me, I guess. But I don't have a reason to lie. You can tell in his attributes. He just turned 20 years old. Obviously, we signed him when he was 19. He turned, 20 in February. We did this work in January. So, he's actually a good prospect. If you're looking for a young striker to sneak, but you're going to have to be in a top league. You're going to have to be in a top league because it was like Tottenham, Arsenal, like other Premier League teams. You're sounding less convincing, mate. But no, like, yeah, a lot of teams were after him. So, you're not going to be at a low league or something like that. But if you can snag him, especially with a team like Everton, who isn't, they don't have these... Well, I mean, we've got good strikers at the team, but you know what I mean. Generally, the Everton's club is not, at the very top level. So get someone in like this, there's going to be an issue. Is he actually going to get games, or is he just someone, what we were talking about, someone to get profit off? He was a bit in between. These other guys are in that... we might as well just go from the youngest to oldest. 26 now. Larin from Besiktas. Not bad. Not bad. Some of these guys, we didn't just get them to think they would be a first. Like, for me, he's behind the likes of Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, Dele Alli. But he's a competitor. He's a competitor there. Decent. 26. I like how he's not really near 30. You have time to sell him. Who knows? Maybe you can sell him for 10 million. Not next season, but maybe in January if things aren't going too well. Or in the following season. That's why we're setting up for these deals. And then someone like... Vassallo, like... I'm old, man. I remember signing him... Was it FM08? Or... Not FM08. FM12. Sorry, I went back to my old days. Not quite. Not quite that. FM12. There was two different stages of me. FM08 and FM12 for different reasons. FM12 when I created my YouTube channel. But yeah, that's when I got back into it after a few years of a break. So, yeah, FM12, before he moved. It was before he moved to Genoa. He was a bargain, if you know, and I know that he is 30 years of age and only 11 natural fitness and maybe a little injury prone. You're like, ugh, you might not know too much about that, but I think he's decent. But don't forget, we've got Seamus Coleman, whatever. But he's a bit versatile as well. You could use him at left back, but yeah, Coleman's getting a bit older. So at least as a backup, you're not going to make so much profit off these guys, so what can you do? But... free transfer, going to be in the first team squad. Again, another D. I don't know. Kevin Rodriguez, left back. He's just another competitor with these guys. Like Michaelenko. Similar reports of their current ability. 28 years old. If it doesn't work out, sell him the following season. You might make a little bit of money. So, yeah, we wanted to get a few of these free transfers because I think it's going to be better for us than if we didn't. It's an opportunity for us to at least make a little bit of money. If it's not going to be in the future, because there's going to be some younger guys that could have that value for them in the long term. I think Shuranov probably looks like the best signing, but I think Vakandi is like, we're maybe not going to see him too regularly in the first team anytime soon. But his future, maybe he's got a bit to shout about. But I definitely think Shuranov, Eric, he could be something. He could be something, even though hasn't got like 5-star potential. Looks pretty balanced, and I think he can be a goal scorer. He's had a pretty solid season in terms of the amount of games he's played at a decent level. So yeah, let me know what you think of those signings. Anyway, we just went all out on approach the signs, but we got a decent variety there which I'm happy with. But that Newcastle game in 4 days, they're really struggling in 15th. So I think it's a good game to show you guys how we've been playing, and which has been pretty well. And there is a slight title challenge. Would you believe we're in for the title? Oh, God. But see, Leeds are doing well. Who's doing rubbish? Like, there's no real shocks, is there? Like, really? Like, that's near the bottom. Like, Arsenal and Tottenham, they're Arsenaling and Tottenhaming. That's not really that easy to say, but you get they're like 7th and 8th. Leeds is probably where maybe Arsenal could sneak to, but for the most part, really, yeah, Leeds is the only shock, along with us, of course. So guys, Paul Miley's got his contract now. We're going to head over to his information. He's touted as the next David Seaman. So he's got everything set up for him just to be a star. The fickle personality, can be a negative, but like, I just feel like, yeah, he's set up to be not just our goalkeeper, but depends. Other top English clubs, good goalkeepers could come through there as well. But I think really he could be a top Premier League goalkeeper that would just as a label, like a top 4, like a top club, top 4 club in the Premier League, being their keeper. So yeah, it's really good. And I'm someone who really doesn't like spending transfer money on goalkeepers. So if you get a good one through the youth academy and build him up, I love that. I'm sorted. But here we go. Let's get it started now. Let's see these results here. Again, Arsenal only notable one. They push up into 6 now. That's a good result for them. Keep the pressure on Leeds. But we're here for our game. Pretty hefty suggestions for the opposition instructions, which is quite often, and we do utilize that. Let me know. Obviously, like, we do roll with this 4-2-4. This is our main tactic. I showed you guys in the previous episode. We've got a 4-3-3 there. I have that generally in-game. I like to control possession when, we've got a nice little lead. So we may go to that. Really depends how a game is going. But let me know if you want me to make a separate video, like a tactics type video for this, because I think we're doing a bit better than just doing well. We're doing quite amazingly with this Everton team. Especially, I don't really rate our defense. I mean, we have a much stronger defense. Midfield, Van der Beek, always like him, and Alant, like, solid enough, but I think it's that's why we've set up like this, because I think our strengths is in our attack. We've got goal scorers, and that's how we like to play, and that's how we like to score goals. So let's get right into it. All right, both keepers are actually captains of the respective clubs. Eddie Howe, let's see how he comes up against us today. Media's given us credit. That's like a continuous thing of late, as you would expect. So we'll go attackers, midfielders. Overall, not the worst talk, but Newcastle, like, horrendous form. Look at that for their last 5. No wins in sight. And us, W's. That's what we love to see. We don't worry about it. We DW about it, because we always be in some good form, at least lately. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. But, come on, let's see us in action. Van der Beek whips in the cross. We've generally recovered pretty well from corners where we haven't scored from. So, let's see if this is going to happen here, or it could blow up in my face. Let's see if we actually defend both ways as well. But I think, yes. Here we go. Mykolenko to Godfrey. Some good play here. It's a nice ball. Pick up possession. Oh, missed the tackle. Here's Gabby. Yeah, see, God, look how quick he is. Touch on him. Look how he moves. How good was that? It's going to set up a goal. That's not the first time. Like, he's so good at doing that. Richarlison on the finish, yes. Clearly, with 20-plus goals for the season. But how smooth. Godfrey, look at this. He just runs away, then plays so good in that role, man. Oh, brilliant. And that's not where we've been scoring all our goals for the season, but that's just that's just a one single component of our game. He's so handy. Now it's El Ghazi to Van der Beek. Here we go with a bit of a set play for us. Just get our passing going. Don't have a free kick. Don't have a shot. Let's just build up a normal attack for us. See, we play that quick but a shorter passing game. A good tempo. And look at Holgate. Far post to Dali, then to Richarlison. That looks like it could be offside, but I'm happy with the created chance. Even if it's going to be given for offside, it may not. Looks like 2-0's holding there. Let's see. What are they? Oh, goal disallowed. Disappointed, but we take it on the chin. I reckon that was super close. Oh, yeah, he just moved. Richarlison moved too quickly, I think, and he didn't have to, but we'll never know. We'll never know if that would have been scored the same. Either way, it's been an excellent start with a goal scored and then another great chance created, just disallowed, and it was rightly so by the looks of things. Trippier, come on, win this. Dali, see, he's got good height as well, good aerially. Richarlison, he's brought down, and Calvert-Lewin, another one, or is it going to be another cancelled one? Again, to my eye, what I saw there, he was just on, and this time it's going to count. He was just on, this time it's going to count? Yeah. It's all about probabilities. I said that in a recent episode as well, that when it's two VARs in a row, there's a good chance. Yeah, it was close, but 2-0, let's go. Chuck another praise. That's just my thing. Generally, after a goal scored, especially when you're in the lead, definitely when you're in the lead, got to praise the boys. And 2-0, but I'm glad you guys are seeing today, we feel dominant. I know it's against Newcastle United, but we look like a team that is meaning some real business. And they've got some okay players, but look how we chase as well. Willock, they've actually got a good play going here, and they might create something with it. Grimaldo whips it in. Look at that. That was Godfrey again. Thank Godfrey for him, because he helps our defense so much. And then Pickford, and they get don't tell me they're going to get a yes. Review it and call it off. Call it off. Because Pickford made an amazing save. I think that needs to be rewarded. Oh no, they're going to give it. It didn't even show. It said in review, and they're just giving it. That smells sus. Look, he looks off. He looked off the whole time. He might have just been on. So the great Pickford doesn't, or the great save by Pickford, more correctly, it didn't mean anything. And that's how one of their goals had to be scored, a parry. Pickford got an assist. He got an assist for the goal. So that's a little bit frustrating. Newcastle's XG is actually a little higher, which is intriguing. I think they finished off the half very well. But again, when we can come in a bit of a frustrating way with the team talk, but we've actually got a lead, I think, us conceding late, we were able to do that. And now let's not concede from a corner, because you can tell we've been good. This is, yes, win this, and we're dangerous. We're dangerous. Richarlison, look at him go. Come on. Poor. That was, yeah. We just wasted that, really. Now, Keane, really. St. Maximin. This is where looking a bit dangerous. And suddenly we're not winning the game. We were comfortable. How are we dominating, man? Well, no, the question of how is how they've came back. We were killing him in the first half, and then Michael Keane. He should have, and again, we got there. Very disappointing, man. Michael Keane could be easily disguised as, Harry Maguire. That's more from a Manchester United annoying side, to be honest. But anyway. Let's get this back. It was a good interception quick. And now Richarlison, we've got to get it back. This is probably familiar Everton game. Oh, come on. Come on, Richarlison. Get it back. That was a brilliant goal. That's never being saved. What a finish. What the hell? Like, no goalkeeper is ever saving that. That's composure and class. And look at this. Quick. Alan. You know, we got it there. Quick passing. Look at this. Brilliant. Like, you can't save that. So it puts a game like Newcastle though. I'm intrigued. This isn't really intrigued. We're gonna keep it up. We're gonna keep it up for the game right now. All right, Van der Beek. Oh, he had to do so much better with that. I felt that was so far off. I don't want to be too reactionary, but he's looking a bit tired though. Instead, we're going to bring on Oscar Romero. We didn't have him registered, in the first half of the season. So we deregistered. We had 25 players registered, so that was the issue. We deregistered one of the goalkeepers. We don't really use anyone else, so yeah. Just doing a quick change there. Back to Oscar Romero. Give some talking. Not bad. So don't forget with him, he was another. They're like, we signed him on a free, like at the start of the season. We talked about our approach to signs. Guys that will be joining next season. But if, a guy that's pushing 30, he'll turn 30, you could sell him, and we might get a bit of that money back. But we're going to get a handy amount come the end of the season, especially holds the top 4 position. So yeah, we're going to make that single change. I feel like despite of what the XG says and the shot, I feel like we've been dominating this game. Like, our chances have felt really, really good. I mean, now you can see, double shots on target, so you feel like something is coming. Hold steady. Because, yeah, we're playing. We're actually playing well right now. Dali Ali isn't so much. So we're going to bring on Gray, Alex Iwobi as well for... Al Ghazi been amazing, but he's looking tired. We're keeping that in mind. So sometimes we might switch these two. That's 3-star and 2-star. Nah. We probably... I think it's just Gray. I think Gray... We'll try him as an inverted winger. We switch around sometimes just so you see how he'll go. All right. If we can find a way just to squeeze one more, it's a big point in the game, I tell you what. Because Newcastle can come up with a goal at any time, to be fair. Here's Nandez. This is where you get a little worried about Newcastle right here. No, don't let him score. I'm getting a bit... We want to win this one. It's more than wanna. We got to win this one. I mean, we can't be disappointed with our goal amount scored, I think. When you've got 3, I don't think you can complain, but when you got 19 on target for the day, almost 20, yeah, we deserve that win. It was an attacking game, but overall, we were comfortably the best. I would have loved to win that by 2 goals with a bit of a breathing space, because, yeah, that looked like how we played and the amount of opportunities we created. So, yeah, we got it done. And that pushes us into second, but of course, as it's been pretty regular of recent time, Man United, with their goal difference, they take our spot. But, normally, well, not normally, in the past episodes I've done, or past in this series of doing rebuilds, we've been a team that's in Europe. So, like the final episode, we're gonna continue for the time being. We're gonna praise Richarlison. See, he's listed as a winger. Back on their descriptions, yeah. See, he's natural in both, so you can see it both ways, and he's actually slightly better as a winger. So you can see why he's described as a winger. That is fair enough. 20 goals in the league is pretty impressive, though. But we see him as definitely a front man for us, definitely a striker in the team. And yeah, we're going to continue up until, really, the next couple games is pretty important. But yeah, we're going to see how we come towards the end of the season. But we're definitely getting a Champions League play. So that's exciting, guys. Get hyped up for next season. But a title back, it'll be a bit of a weird feeling. Like, I don't feel we should be winning the league in the first season, and I just think the goal difference of United and Liverpool could be telling come the end of the season. And of course, we've got some guys on the outer as well. It's always, you're going to have players you don't utilize as much, and that has been the case. Look at this. We'll sort it the other way around. Like Andre Gomez, like he just hasn't squeezed into the team. We've had other guys, especially you put on the bench, we just used ahead of him. We're very smart. I say smart with it. Yeah, we're going to try and send him out. I just haven't liked his level as a player, to be honest. He's got he's a good passer, good technique passing, first touch, and you can see we've just had players ahead of him. So it's a good reason to ship him out, to be fair. And Townsend is kind of the winger version of him, and Gabaman was, as you can see, he's come off the bench 9 times, so we tend to use him. Generally we're leading, and we like to bring him on, play a more defensive role, so that's the sub sometimes we make. Not kind of like that Newcastle game when we're still, yeah, it's individual basis, game on game. So, and Doucouré, we used him a lot, as you can see, through his performances. He's come off the bench 16 times. So I like to give you guys an idea how we manage. But yeah, I think we finish on the tactics, because I think we have had quite the exceptional start to this rebuild at the current point in time. Because this Everton side, like that 11 there, like, yeah, it's especially, as I said, for me, Dele Alli, Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, bright lights, shining lights, and created a lot of goal scoring chances. And Godfrey out of the back is, yeah, very impressive. He creates a lot of chances. That ball playing defender is excellent for him, but then his defensive play holds up. Yeah, we saw it a little bit, how he gets into those positions and escapes the defense and plays a long ball. So I'm going to leave it there for now. If you guys could leave a thumbs up, get a comment in the video, greatly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, be sure you subscribe so you don't miss a video, and I'll see you guys next time.